Imagine boarding a flight with your family, believing that in a few hours you will be home.
Look at the car.
Your child is beside you.
Wow.
The cabin is calm.
Toys.
People talk quietly or look through the windows. A mother smiles at her child. A passenger looks into the darkness outside. Everyone expects an ordinary journey. Nothing feels unusual. Nothing suggests that this flight is about to become part of history. But somewhere inside the aircraft, several men are waiting for the right moment. They watch the passengers and crew. Then one man stands. Another follows. Passengers look around in confusion. More men rise from their seats. The peaceful atmosphere disappears. The cockpit is taken, and within moments the passengers realize that the aircraft is no longer under the control of its crew. They have been hijacked. The aircraft is forced away from its original destination.
Mayday! Flight 372!
Nobody knows where they are going.
We have intruders in the cabin!
Nobody knows
They're
how
forcing
long
the
they will
door.
be held.
We need immediate assistance!
Most importantly, nobody knows whether they will ever see home again. Hours pass. The cabin becomes quieter. Parents hold their children closer. Passengers watch the hijackers carefully. Some try to remain calm, while others sit silently, thinking about the families waiting for them at home. Then the aircraft begins to descend. The passengers look outside, expecting to recognize their destination. Instead, they see an unfamiliar airport. They have arrived at Entebbe Airport in Uganda, and the situation is about to become even more frightening. Uganda is ruled by Idi Amin, a military dictator whose name has become feared around the world. The passengers realize they have been brought thousands of miles from home. Inside the terminal, time seems to slow down. Families sit together. Parents hold their children. Passengers watch the doors and windows, wondering what will happen next. Some whisper while others remain silent. Then the demands arrive. The hijackers want prisoners released from Israeli and other prisons. A deadline is set. If their demands are not met,
keep your heads down and stay quiet.
The hostages could be killed.
The next person who speaks,
Suddenly, time becomes the enemy. Every passing
This is a News 7 special report. A rapidly developing situation is unfolding overseas tonight, where an unknown group is holding embassy staff captive.
Millions of people ask the same question. Will these passengers ever come home? Thousands of miles away, military leaders are studying maps. They examine the airport, runway,
If they push through
terminal,
this valley,
and
they'll
possible
bypass
routes.
our forward elements.
Entebbe
We
is
have to
more than
interdict here before they reach
2,500
the
miles
river.
away. A rescue would require aircraft to cross thousands of miles, enter another country's territory, reach an unfamiliar airport, locate more than 100 hostages, and get everyone out before the defenders could react.
We have to assume they have
There would be almost no room for error.
Checklist complete.
One
Captain. All
mistake
systems
could
green.
expose the entire
Roger that.
operation.
Engaging stabilization.
One wrong decision could
Requesting
cost
immediate
lives.
clearance.
So the planners begin preparing for something that seems almost impossible.
Next corridor.
Maps are spread across tables. Photographs are examined. The airport layout is studied again and again. Every hallway matters. Every doorway matters. Every entrance matters. They need to know the building before they arrive. A partially constructed building becomes a
Entry
training
point
ground.
marked. Moving to position.
Soldiers practice moving through
Covering
corridors
fire position
and
established
rehearse
here.
their routes
Copy that.
repeatedly.
Breaching in 3.
They memorize the layout until their movements become instinct. Because when the real mission begins, there may be no time to stop and think. The pilots prepare as well. They will have to fly thousands of miles through darkness and reach Uganda with enough surprise to give the rescue team a chance. Navigation routes are studied. Charts are examined. Aircraft are prepared. Everyone understands the danger. The mission may fail. Some of the soldiers may never come home.
Delta 729er, wind
Yet
calm,
nobody
runway 29er,
backs
cleared to
out.
land.
Because
Cleared to
somewhere
land,
inside
runway
that
29er,
terminal,
Delta 729er.
families are still waiting. Children are still waiting. More than 100 innocent people are depending on strangers they have never met. Then the night of the mission arrives. The aircraft are prepared.
Deployed.
Engines come alive. The soldiers board.
Go.
There are no celebrations and no speeches. Only concentration. Some check equipment, while others
Keep it tight.
study the
Move
plan.
out.
The aircraft begin moving.
Watch the perimeter.
The runway disappears behind them.
Let's get
Then
to
the
work.
planes lift into the darkness. For hours, they travel toward Uganda. Inside, the atmosphere remains tense. Every mile brings them closer to Entebbe, closer to the hostages, and closer to the moment when the entire plan will be tested. Eventually, the lights of the airport appear. The aircraft descend. The runway comes closer. The wheels touch the ground. They have arrived. But landing is only the beginning. The rear ramp opens, and the night air rushes into the aircraft. The rescuers move toward the waiting vehicles. Then comes one of the boldest elements of the plan. A black Mercedes is used in an attempt to resemble the type of presidential convoy associated with Idi Amin. The idea is simple. If the guards believe the approaching vehicles belong to the president, they might hesitate long enough for the rescuers to reach the terminal. For a brief moment, the deception appears to work. The vehicles move across the runway. The terminal gets closer. The guards watch. The rescuers continue forward. Then one guard becomes suspicious. Another reacts. The illusion begins to collapse. There is no more time. The rescue begins. The rescuers move toward the terminal. Inside, the hostages hear the commotion and look toward the doors. The terminal erupts into confusion. The rescuers push forward. The hostages move towards safety. Families try to stay together. Every second matters. The rescue team has one objective: reach the hostages and get them out. For days, the hostages have lived with fear. Now they begin to feel something they had almost forgotten:
It's finally over.
hope. Parents grab their children and follow the rescuers. The distance between them and freedom becomes smaller.
Watch your step. Hurry.
But the operation comes at a terrible cost. The commander leading the assault is Yoni Netanyahu. During the rescue, Yoni is struck by enemy fire. His men continue the mission. There is no time to stop. The hostages still need to escape. Yoni will not leave Uganda alive, but the mission he helped lead continues. The hostages reach the waiting aircraft. Families climb aboard. Some embrace. Some cry. Others simply stand in disbelief. After days of uncertainty, they are finally leaving. The engines roar. The aircraft begins moving. The runway stretches ahead. Then the plane lifts into the night. Inside the aircraft, everything feels different.
They're alive.
The fear that filled the cabin is slowly replaced by relief. Parents hold their children. Families embrace. Some passengers cry.
Okay now.
Others look through the windows in silence.
I've got
For the first time in days, they can think about home. The aircraft continues through the night. Uganda disappears behind them. The passengers are finally going home. Meanwhile, the rest of the world begins learning what has happened. Television broadcasters report the rescue. Newspapers prepare their headlines. Families gather around television sets and listen in disbelief. A military operation had been launched thousands of miles from home, and it had succeeded. More than 100 hostages had been brought out of Entebbe, but the victory came with a painful loss. Yoni Netanyahu had been killed during the operation. The story was therefore not simply about rescue, it was also about sacrifice. Years passed, but the mission remained part of military history. Photographs, maps, and the airport layout were studied. Military planners continued examining its intelligence, preparation, deception, timing, and coordination. Operation Entebbe was not remembered simply because it succeeded. It was remembered because success had seemed almost impossible. More than 100 hostages, thousands of miles from home, with almost no room for error. Yet the rescuers went anyway. Nearly 50 years later, the story still raises a powerful question. What makes someone accept a mission when they may never come home? What makes them travel thousands of miles for strangers? Maybe courage is not the absence of fear. Maybe courage is knowing exactly what you are risking and deciding that someone else's life is worth the risk. Because somewhere inside that airport, families were waiting. Children were waiting. People were waiting for someone to come through the door. And someone did. Operation Entebbe became more than a military operation. It became a story about preparation, determination, sacrifice, and survival. It became a reminder that great missions sometimes begin with an impossible decision. To try when the odds say not to move forward when turning back is easier, and to risk everything for strangers. So go back to the beginning. Imagine yourself sitting on that aircraft. Your family is beside you. The cabin is calm. The engines are running. You believe you are going home. Then everything changes. You are suddenly thousands of miles away from the people you love. And somewhere in the distance, a rescue team is preparing to risk their lives to bring you back. Now imagine knowing the mission may fail. Imagine knowing that the people coming to rescue you may never return. Imagine sitting inside that aircraft, watching the darkness outside the window, and knowing exactly what is waiting at the other end. The plane continues through the night. There is no turning back. Only one question remains. If you knew you might never come home, would you still board that plane?